This show is produced by the Harwood Podcast Network.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harris. We love making this show available to you free of charge. If you'd like to help us keep it that way, you can make a contribution to our Karma Jar. For more information, visit our website. Hey there, everybody. Today's special guest is Vicki Genfan.
Welcome to Live from Bay 6.
Born in 1934, I guess you'd be 73 today. Except it's been nearly 24 years since you slipped away. Well, I'll have another coffee and a bite of something sweet. I'll taste the memories you left behind. I'll cry for the parts of me you didn't meet. And though you're gone, you're still given to me. 'Cause of you, I opening my heart a little wider. 'Cause of you, I am hoping I might be a little kinder. 'Cause of you, I am digging deep and giving everything I got. Well, you taught me it's the small things that count. It's really not so hard. Now I don't wait until the holidays come round to send those greeting cards. And you said be careful how much you think. Just say what you mean. Don't analyze every little thing. Hold on to simplicity. And hold on to all your dreams. And hold on to what you believe. Oh, 'cause of I am opening my heart just a little wider. 'Cause of you, I am hoping I might be a little kinder. 'Cause of you, I am digging deep and giving everything I got, yeah. 'Cause of you, I am. Oh, a peaceful street. Wherever I go, you're with me, yeah. Wherever I go, you're with me, yeah. Because of you. Because of you. Because of you.
Tell me about the song "Because of You." Where did this come from?
Well, the song was really a gift. I lost my mom when I was 23. She was 48. And I lost her to lung cancer. And when you lose a parent and you're not really an adult, at least this is how I thought about it, you kind of really, you don't know a lot of things about them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't care as a younger person so much about like some of the important things of their life, you know. So I wanted a way to be able to kind of keep her with me and keep her memory with me and keep it present, and also share what it was I got from her and what I still get from her with other people. And that was kind of a tall order, but it was her birthday, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and I woke up and I got those lyrics. And I had been noodling on banjo. I actually had recently purchased a 6-string banjo, and that was the first piece of music that I came up with on that banjo. And I think the music came first, so I've been noodling on that for a long time. And then these lyrics came, and it was like, whoa, they fit together really well. So that's how it came. It was really just a wish to, you know, I mean, I think it kind of has it all in there. These are the things that she gave to me.
Tell me a little bit about where you're from and growing up and all that.
I was a New York City born girl. I lived in Washington Heights, real city. But I was only there till I was 7, so mostly that time period for me was, you know, being under the influence of my dad, I think, in a good way. He was a music man. He played guitar, he played fiddle, he played mandolin, he played 12-string. He loved to sing. I feel like that's kind of was my incubation phase, you know. That's where I got like just surrounded by music and by music making. You know, it was so natural for him. When I was 7, we moved to New Jersey, and I lived in the suburbs till I went to college. And that was when I started to really kind of start, you know, developing myself as a musician. Although I did take piano lessons at 3. And the rumor was that I asked for lessons. I don't know how a 3-year-old actually asked for, or why, or how I even knew that you could have lessons, but that was really cool. I remember that. I remember this huge piano, and my teacher wrote the names of the keys in pencil, you know, so there were C, D, E. I learned how to read, you know, started guitar at 5. My dad showed me what he knew. When I got older, my friend Debbie showed me what she knew. And then I started to learn things like James Taylor's Sweet Baby James, you know, verbatim, every guitar part.
Now, with guitar, was it primarily acoustic all the way through?
It pretty much was. The times that I picked up electric, I always felt like I was a faker. It sounds silly maybe, but I'm not done with the acoustic. I don't have enough time to figure that out. And so, you know, I love what an electric guitar can do. It's kind of that all or nothing thing. I feel like if I can't really do it, I don't want to be like a mediocre guitar player.
Well, they're similar, but they're pretty different animals too. This next song, Joy, where did that one come from?
Joy's a really different piece for me, especially than Because of You, for instance. First of all, it's instrumental. Sometimes I will write a piece that comes from more of a kind of a soundscape place than actual concrete thematic, you know, especially if it's not lyric driven. I don't necessarily have a clear understanding of where it comes from, I guess is what I'm trying to say. A lot of stuff comes out of my hands.
Right.
just my hands want to move. They always want to move. I've always been drumming on everything I could my whole life. And so with a guitar in my hands, I do the same thing. And between the urge of my hands to do rhythmic patterns and my love for open tunings, that's where joy was born. Mm-hmm. It came out of that, oh my God, this tuning is just like, it just like opens my heart. Mm-hmm. I love this tuning. It's a D major 7 chord, but it just sounds beautiful on the guitar. When you play the harmonics, they just like shoot out. And then this rhythmic pattern that just kind of came, it's a very simple, common rhythmic pattern, but that became the kind of the meat of the piece. Mm-hmm. And then I pick out painstakingly, and don't always do it accurately, this very, very, very simple melody, which is just, you know, bing, 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 and that became the melody. And I just throw that melody into these rhythm patterns and change the bass lines at certain points to give it a different context, and that's what it is. It's almost like, makes me think about, ever seen a little kid go into those rooms that are just filled with balls? And they just kind of like just jump into the room. They're just like jumping in the room, and the balls are all over them, and they're sinking, and then they're drowning, and then they're, that's what that song is like to me. It's just that, you know.
you have a fairly specific style. And tell me a little bit about the journey to arrive at where you have come to with this style.
First thing I'll say is that I feel impatient with myself sometimes, and it was a long journey. I wish it wasn't so long. I wish I was kind of born playing like that. But I have to say, the reality is it came together over 40 years or something like that. And you know, I started playing guitar like everybody starts playing guitar. I was playing an A chord, a G chord, a D chord. You know, you learn a few chords, you pick out a few melodies, you learn some scales. I started there. And I did that for a few years. And something in me was bored very quickly with it. And I discovered, maybe I discovered like a drop D tuning, you know, and wow, that opened up something different. All of a sudden I got this low note, kind of like an ostinato, and it was very intriguing to me. I could do a bunch of chords over it and just have this nice D ringing, you know. And then I think I must have been introduced to Joni Mitchell's music and Joni tunes her guitar. And when I heard it, it was another thing that got me really interested. And I guess that I just started to take more liberties and to start to experiment. And this thing with my hands started to creep in. And, you know, at first, truthfully, at first I was using harmonics. I found the harmonics. The harmonics are, for those people that don't know what they are, they're the ringing bell-like sounds. You can get them by holding the 12th fret and the 7th fret and the 5th fret. Those are the easiest places to get them. And so you have the tunings, which I'm loving, and you have these harmonics, which I'm loving, and then this rhythmic stuff. And I just kept experimenting, you know, I really did. There was a point at which I wanted to increase my chances of success, of a successful career as, you know, really, how could I make a living? Could I make a living doing this? I sat down with myself, and maybe this was 12 years ago or 13 years ago. So I've been doing it part-time, and, you know, and had some of these elements to my playing, you know, did some open tunings, did some percussive stuff, but it wasn't really developed. It was not cooked all the way. And I sat down with myself and I said, what are my strengths and what are not my strengths? And I decided that the guitar stuff was definitely my strength. And I said, why don't you really, really develop that, you know? And that, at that point, what up until then was more like random, accidental, wonderful things, became much more focused.
You began to really go after
I
stuff.
said, what am I doing? What works? And at that point, I put blinders on musically, and I stopped listening to music. I just stopped. I especially didn't want to listen to guitar music of any kind. And I just kind of went into a creative vacuum. And I kind of let whatever I could find in me, whatever was there, to be used. And I started to write a couple of instrumental pieces.
So after your period of focusing here, you basically developed where you are right now, and which continues to develop, I'm sure. So you now have this very interesting lifestyle going these days. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, for the past year or so, I've basically been traveling in the big yellow Vicki van, which is a Dodge Sprinter that my engineer and partner, Tay Hoyle, has pimped out. And we traveled most of the year. We've been not home very much. Not always playing music, but a lot of it is playing. In a way, the fact that the record industry, as it was when I was growing up, has crumbled is liberating to me, because I no longer have to feel bad about the fact that I don't have a major label record contract.
Now you're actually going.
Right. Yeah. And what it means is that there's a whole lot of freedom. It feels like the sky's the limit. You know, it feels like the top has been taken off of what is possible. And with the help of Tay, because I couldn't do it myself. I don't know how anyone does anything themselves, especially do something like this. We are just kind of committed to bringing not only my music, but also, you know, both of our creativity. I mean, Tay does all this incredible editing stuff and building and designing of studios. And, you know, we're just trying to bring what we do to the people. You know, we have we're traveling in a vehicle that is actually a roaming venue. We have a stage, pulls out the back, we can hold 3 people on it. That's what we do. I teach a lot, and I do clinics a lot for some various companies I work with. So, you know, during the course of a day, I may be teaching and demonstrating products, or at a trade show, or doing a concert in a Target parking lot, or playing a guitar festival.
You have quite a collection of music in your catalog, don't you?
I have 4 CDs, and I have 2 instructional DVDs.
Now, on the instructional stuff, it's technique, how basically your approach to guitar playing, right?
Well, you know, my first instructional DVD, which is called 3D Acoustic Guitar, was an attempt to document everything that I've come up with in the past. I mean, it's all of it. So I think I've done a good job of breaking it down. I've been teaching, I call it slap tap. I've been teaching this stuff for a long time, so it was not difficult to put it together into video form. And the folks at TrueFire, that's who did the video, they're excellent, and their work is stellar. So I really am proud of that. And on the second half of that video, I did a whole piece on open tunings, because that's another intimidating piece for people, and it's a world I live in, and it's normal for me. And I really wanted to present that in a way that would maybe entice a few more people to jump in there. We're just releasing the brand new one, which is called Acoustic Rhythm Guitar Survival Guide. And that is for everybody. That's for anyone that plays primarily rhythm guitar. So it kind of spans a little bit into songwriting, but it's mainly focusing on get your guitar playing to a new place.
Now, getting back to the 4 CDs that are yours, on there you have a combination of both instrumental stuff and some vocal things on each of them?
I do. Outside the Box is a mix. Live is obviously a mix. It's a live performance. It's a really good recording of a concert in Germany I did. Up Close and Personal is my double CD, and what we did was we decided for that we'd break it out, and the first CD is all instrumental stuff. The second CD is all singing stuff. So they're separated. Then the 4th CD is called Uncovered, and that is a collection of cover tunes.
Oh, cool.
That I've redone, Vicki style kind of, and I collaborated with 5 other artists.
So, and we can, of course, you mentioned iTunes, you can get all this stuff on iTunes.
You can get all my stuff on iTunes.
But even better, get it at your website.
From my website, you can get anywhere you need to get to.
So you're about to play Atomic Reshuffle. Tell me where this little bit of craziness came from. I
was at a NAMM show about 4 years ago, and the NAMM show is a big trade show where you got all the music retailers selling their stuff, you know it. And there's always concerts, there's big concerts. There's the Muriel Anderson All-Star Guitar Night. It's one of the bigger concerts there, and I think that's where I was this night. And it was about the time that Kaki King was on the cover of all the guitar magazines. And I didn't like Kaki at first, because she got on the cover. Boy, did I want to get on the cover. I wanted to be the first woman to be on the cover of those magazines, and she got on the cover. So I hadn't gone to therapy yet about this, and so I was still kind of holding on to it. And I hadn't. I'm healed now. And I'm sitting there at the show, and it's Kaki. She's doing her thing, and like the audience is going crazy, and I am just fuming. I'm just fuming. I'm so mad, and I'm so jealous and envious, and I'm just so pissed off. And as it always has been my entire life, my guitar is my best friend and my therapist. And I went back to my hotel room after that show, and I looked at my guitar, I picked her up, and I said, "This is how I feel. What do you have to say about it?" And she gave me that tuning. It's the weirdest tuning in life. It's a low B flat. It's sinful. It shouldn't even happen, but it's beautiful. I mean, when you play that chord, it's beautiful. And that's what my guitar said to me in answer to all of my rage and frustration and not being satisfied with where I was. It said, "Here." Around that time, I was reading a book about meditation. Someone was writing about when you change how you think, your atoms change their dance. you know, because our atoms are always doing their little dance. So when you change your thoughts, your atoms change their dance. And as your atoms change, people around you are affected. You know, it's this thing. It sets off a chain. So as you change how you're thinking, it has an effect on the people around you. And I think this is profound.
Well, that's our show for today. We'd like to thank Vicki Genfan for coming by and amazing us with her terrific music. For more information on Vicki, go to our website and go to the Live from Basics show page, and we'll have all kinds of links and information on how to get a hold of Vicki's great music and her instructional videos. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. We're out of here.